Welcome back to Off-Grid Stoves and More, your official Austroflamm, Rika, Premio, Visio, Wega, anything that has to do with Austroflamm and the Rika channel. All right, today I'm making a video. There are a lot of parts that are floating around out there that are not OEM from the manufacturer, that are creating a lot of problems. And the problem that we're talking about today is combustion fans, okay? There are combustion fans that are out of 3 different countries right now, and we are receiving motors that are wired wrong, or they have the wrong voltage, and somebody out there is just trying to sell them in order to make a quick dollar, but it's creating a lot of problems for you all out there. Now, I get it, you know, people like to go the aftermarket way in order to save money. But I can tell you right now that a good portion of the time when you buy aftermarket parts, you end up having a part that does not fit specifically for the Austroflamm. And in that case, what it does is you get a new part after you have done some troubleshooting. And a lot of times it happens with me. I'll end up helping y'all out there and help you troubleshoot, and you'll find a part that might be $10, $20 cheaper someplace else when we're talking about something in the large capacity in the way of dollar amounts. And the combustion fan, as you're going to see in this video, is one of them. So you're going to really have to beware if you don't want to buy original parts for the Austroflamm that are available. Now remember, there are parts that we have to make in order to keep the parts being available out there, in order to keep your stoves up and running. And then there are other individuals that are trying to become distributors, and they are picking up parts that they don't test, they don't know anything about the stove, the specifications of motors, of electronics, and this is where today's problem comes into play. Okay, let's get right to it. The combustion fan for the Integra 1, the Rika 2, the Visio, the Premio, the Wega, all operate in a non-clockwise position, counterclockwise position. And as you can see here, I ended up putting an arrow on here for the video. I'm not sure if you can see it at the angle or not, but watch what happens. Okay, it's really hard to see which way it's spinning right now, but I'm going to slow it down. Watch the arrow. Okay, see how it's spinning counterclockwise? It has to, in order for it to create the strongest draw for the combustion gases, in order to push the gases out. Okay, so here's me holding it, and here's me spinning it counterclockwise. I want you to take a look. See these fan blades? These fan blades are straight and flush. Let's see where I can get this here. Okay, you can see how they're straight and flush on one side, and then they're bent on the other. And in order for this to pick up the flue gases, the fan blades, the flat side has to be turning counterclockwise, okay? Because inside of the housing, it picks up the flue gases from the horizontal chamber that comes into the motor, and then the fan immediately takes it and pushes it out of the casing of the combustion motor. Now, what we have from this customer here, he ended up picking up this motor from someplace after I you know, helped him with this stove, and this is what he found. The customer did not find this problem. He installed it, and he was having nothing but problems from that point. He got back on, email, chatted with me, and I just said, hey, look, man, I said, in order for you to, or order for me to help you figure out the problem, I need you to ship me this fan. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. After the conclusions that I have made, let's take a look. Okay, now that I got it all set up, this is the customer's fan here, and I want to show you, I went ahead and I drew an arrow on the counterclockwise position that it's supposed to go. Okay, so this is supposed to be plug and play, right? So you get it, hook it up, let's plug it in and take a look. Yeah. Okay, now you can't really see here, but I'm going to slow it down with my hand. Okay, take a look at which way the arrow is going. All right. That right there is a major problem. This customer ended up putting this in his stove, and there was no draw, there was no negative pressure, because actually what it was doing when it was running backwards is it was actually pushing air back into the horizontal gas chamber and creating a resistance instead of a negative pressure creating draw, which then he could not figure out why his stove was shutting down on him. All right, the air sensor was just like, what in the world's going on here? Okay, something's not happening. So this right here is just one example of an individual that ended up buying aftermarket parts and being sent to them as though that they were designed to be put into an Austroflamm. Not designed to be put into an Austroflamm, as you can obviously see. We do have an aftermarket fan that we sell, that we test. We test all of our components before we ship them out. We either put them on our board or we put them on one of our stoves that we're working on, because we're always working on a stove. If it's at the point to where all we have to do is just disconnect a part and put it back on. Okay, this right here is brand new OEM combustion motor. This motor is built to last. This motor is quiet, efficient. This motor is what we highly recommend that you purchase. Use OEM parts if at all possible. The problem that's going on right now is the reputation of Austroflamm is being seriously affected due to the fact that there are individuals out there that cannot find technicians in their area, so they have to try to DIY troubleshoot their own stove without the knowledge of exactly how the stove operates. Now you got a manual, but you still, there's a lot of read between the lines in the manual for the technicians and for myself that I realize that needs to be done, what to check if there's issues, if it doesn't fall under the guidelines of the manual. And in the dead of winter, when mama's very unhappy and she's screaming at you, Papa, and she's saying that she seriously wants some heat and she wants it now, this fan right here isn't going to create any problems, and mama's going to be kissing and loving on you all night long. Okay, so this fan is more expensive than the aftermarket fan. This fan is made in Europe. The aftermarket fan is made in 2 other countries, which, you know, everybody understands that I think there's one of everything that comes out of China. And there is another country that is selling them, which we haven't had any problems. But if you want to keep your stove running with OEM parts, go ahead and get a hold of us, because we're one of the only individuals that actually carries more OEM parts than all of these guys out there that are just popping up trying to find stuff to sell, shooting it out the door to you at a discounted price if you have any problems. Matter of fact, one distributor said, hey, look, if you want to try to figure out your stove, look up Off-Grid Stoves and More on YouTube. He's got hundreds of videos, and you know, he sells parts, I sell parts, but at least he's nice enough in order to direct people to find professional assistance in order to get you up and running. Alrighty? If you need anything in the way of Austroflamm or Rika, you have to excuse me. It's in the 90s, and it's I think it's October now. Been so busy, I don't know what day it is. But offgridstoves@gmail.com is our email. It's the quickest way to get a hold of us in order for you to ask for assistance in troubleshooting. If you need a new manual for your stove, we've got them all. We'll send them to you for free, PDF. If you need any parts, we test our parts. I would probably say we're the only ones out there that are actually testing parts to make sure that you do not receive a part that does not work, unless it was damaged by UPS or FedEx or USPS, because you put fragile stickers on a box and they play soccer with it. It's almost like, hey, Vern, hey man, we got another fragile. Let's get a game going. Off-Grid Stoves and More @gmail.com, quickest way to get a hold of us. If you want to call and leave a message, call us at 800-348-1021 and give us 24 hours. We'll get back to you, and we'll help you out. Okay? You guys stay safe out there. Watch out for those aftermarket parts. If you do order an aftermarket part from us, we guarantee that that part has been tested and it's fully operational, ready to go. Off-Grid Stoves and More. You guys stay safe. You guys stay safe out there. Peace. Looking for quality parts for the Austroflamm, Rika, Premio, Visio, and more? Visit our new e-commerce site at austroflammparts.com or rikaparts.com. Thank you for your support.